Good morning, welcome to Country Needleworks Monday Marketplace. Today we're bringing you something a little bit different. We've got a gifts and gadgets segment because it's gift giving season. And maybe you have a special knitter in your life you are looking for a cool gift for, or maybe you're looking for a cool gift for yourself. Treat yourself too.
Treat yourself.
Yeah.
Show it to someone that needs to buy you gifts and say, hey, this is what I saw on Monday Marketplace's video, and I could use that, and that, and that. Give ideas.
So we have some really cool things for you, and I'm most excited about this first one that Pam is going to show you. It's a brand new product, and it is kind of mind-blowing to me.
It is. Like, why didn't we think of it?
I know.
Yeah. I know. And everybody that has seen it is saying the same thing. Oh, it's so simple, but so great. So these are called Stitch Hangout cords. They come in little containers, 2 different sizes. The smaller size fits up to a US 7 needle. The larger size goes up to, I think, a 13. Yep, it's an 8 to 13. They sell for $13.98 per container. What they are is tubes, and this one they're very long, so you can cut them to the desired length that you need. But the idea is you need to try on your sweater. So you take the tube and put your needle point into it. And you gotta give it a good shove, because obviously you're moving stitches, you don't want it to come off. For something with a little project like what this one is, just for demonstration, it slips so easily. I just tied a little loose knot on the end. So you take this and you slide your garment off of your needle onto the little cable. And then with that being said, you can take it and try on your sweater. You just tie these ends together, giving you enough space to get your sweater over your head or around you. You can use it for sleeves. You can use it for anything that you need to try on. When you're done trying on your garment, you just take your garment and slide it back from the cable very easily and back onto your needle. You're not taking stitch at a time and putting in a waistline or anything. It's just so smooth.
It is.
Easy.
Knit quite a few sweaters, and whenever I want to try one on, I end up transferring stitch by stitch onto, like, we have these cool, I should have brought those over, the cool little clover. They're basically like a cable from a cable needle, but they come in different lengths. And I would usually put them on along one of those so that I could try on my sweater, have enough room to get the stitches all the way around. But it is one at a time.
One at a time. And here they just slide so easily. So again, it's the 2 sizes at $13.98 for each little container. We also have here another gift idea, which is really useful if you like winding your yarn into balls, or even the cakes work really well. We have some ceramic and wooden yarn bowls. They have the little groove on the side to hold your yarn in place, or the hole if you so choose to just run it through there. They're nice and deep, so your cake, if it's a bigger cake, will stay inside it. These are $37.98 for each variety. And there's designs that are implanted on the side, and they're really pretty. Each one is very different and unique.
And those were made locally by a local potter, so you're shopping small, supporting a small business when you do that.
Right.
We also have some circular needle cases that are super cool. Any of you who have a number of circular needles, I hear people ask all the time, oh, how do you organize your circular needles? Well, here's the answer. This case has all the needle sizes, little tags on it with these little, they're kind of like a little envelope flap. And there's an opening on the end that's Velcroed, a little Velcro tab on it. So you slide your needles in there, close it up, and then they'll all be in one place. You'll know what you have.
And there's plenty of room for like a 24-inch and a 16-inch in each pouch.
Yeah, you would have to, because they're by sizes, not by length, so you would have to put like all your 8s in one.
Correct.
Which still is making it a lot easier to find them than how a lot of people's are. And these sell for $44. And now I want to show you this. So we had someone who came in the store recently and bought blocking wires because she had seen them in a magazine and had never heard of them before. And I thought, man, we are not doing our job.
No, they've been around for a while.
We have people who don't know about blocking wires, so we're going to remedy that today.
Yes.
And what we have here are blocking mats. So these are just foam, kind of like play mats that kids use. Interlocking, so you can configure them in different shapes. If you're blocking a scarf, you could make a long skinny one. If you're blocking a sweater or something else, you can make a rectangle. These blocking mats are $34.29 for a package of 9. I'm assuming they're about a foot square, so.
Yep, they are close.
3 foot by 3 foot if you put them in a square. So these are great because you can lay out something and pin into the foam to help block it. So you would either wet block or steam block and get it to your desired size, shape, pin it in place and let it dry. Best for natural fibers like wool, alpaca, stuff like that. Blocking acrylic isn't quite as effective. Just a FYI. So, along with the blocking mats, we have, well, let me show you these blocking pins first, or combs, I guess. I don't know what they're called. Knit blockers. We have a few different options. These are a fancy one, but they're open so I can use it to demonstrate. $29.95 for this set. They're extra special because they're so pretty. Or mine are just white.
Yep. And we have the white ones. We also have some that are colored, and then these fancy ones.
Yes. So what these are they're basically like combs, and there's 2 different sizes. So this is the widest. It's got several little pins already attached to it. And then there's also these smaller ones. So they're great if you have something that's kind of staying put on its own, but you just need to like pin a little, yeah, we'll use our little model here for demonstration. So I want to kind of make that so that it's straight. So what I can do is use these blocking combs and get a big chunk of it all at once and pin it. I'm going to use another big one. And do the same thing with this. And pin it. And now it's staying pretty straight. And that's the way it's going to dry. And it should pretty much stay that shape if you're using a natural fiber. So I love these blocking combs. However, they aren't effective for everything. There are some times where you just need blocking wires.
Like a big shawl.
Like a big shawl. So, blocking wires come in a set in this tube, and there are lots of wires. I think there's also a tape measure, and there are blocking pins. So when you're blocking, you want to use stainless steel pins and not the regular, I don't know what they're made out of, but they rust when they're wet. So stainless steel is the way to go so you don't get rust spots in your knitting. So the blocking wire sets include a lot of, I hesitate to use the term rigid, but they are a little bit rigid, I guess. And then there is a 3 or 4-ish that are thinner and very flexible, so they are great for if you're blocking a curve in something. You don't have to pin each little spot. So what you do with the blocking wires is, let's say I want a really straight edge on this, and I find, first of all, that I need my glasses because I'm old, that it's best to be consistent in where you're picking up stitches.
That's the same as picking up stitches for anything.
It really is.
It's just the consistency.
It really is.
Get
And
the
I
same one
I
each
will
place.
explain why here in a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep going in this cast on edge. And I'm going in every stitch, and I'm going in from the same direction each time. Kind of like Pam said, like you are picking up stitches to knit. Because what's going to happen when you block, let's put it against the yellow. Can you see that a little bit better?
Very nice.
When you block, you can see that those stitches are pulled out a little bit more. And they are going to sort of stay that way once you take your blocking wires out. That's why I feel it's really important to stay consistent with how you pick up your stitches so that you don't have a really wonky looking edge on your blocking. Of course, if you're blocking something to seam, not quite as important. If you're blocking like the edges of a stockinette knit sweater that you have to sew together,
You're not going to see
you're
that
not going to
edge,
see it.
But it will still make it easier to sew together.
It does make it easier to sew it together, yes, yes.
Consistency is always important when you're blocking.
Right. I even say that when you make a mistake in your knitting. If you're consistent with it, it's no longer a mistake.
That's
It's
right.
a design element.
There you go. That's good. Saves a lot of frustration.
It does.
We need more design elements.
It does. So once you have your blocking wire through your whole piece, you can also use pins in order to, I don't think we have any, I'm going to use the edge of this. Like I just want that corner to stay nice and sharp, so I'm going to put a pin in it. And if you're blocking to certain dimensions, then you can pull it to that dimension and stick a pin in it, and it will stay. Like that.
Yes.
And my tube that just fell over.
Yeah.
And I think, is there anything else I missed?
Nope, you got it.
Any more tips on blocking?
No.
I don't
It's not
know.
difficult.
It's really not difficult, but so helpful. You can really change the fit of a sweater a lot by blocking and make nice sharp
Just looks
edges,
nice edge.
nice smooth curves.
Mhm.
Yes, very helpful. I even use it on a curved shawl if there's like a little picot or a little point to it. These blocking wires are still great for that, the curved ones, because you can put it through just each point, but still get a nice
Still get the
even
edge.
curve and not have to try to figure out. Yeah, it's a pain. So that's blocking wires in a nutshell. And we have all kinds of other cool gadgets. We can't possibly talk about them all in one video, so stop in, check it all out, and make your wish list. Thank you for tuning in. I think that's all we have for you, so we will see you next week on a new Monday Marketplace.